Welcome to the Balanced Hormone Solution Podcast. If you're a woman, 35 plus, feeling exhausted, struggling to lose weight, and wondering where your libido went, this is for you. I am Tracy, a functional medicine practitioner who helps women balance their hormones naturally without prescriptions, guesswork, or trendy nonsense. Because here's the truth. Your symptoms aren't random. They're signals. And if you know how to listen, you can fix the root cause and start feeling like yourself again. If you're ready for real solutions, let's get to it. Hey, welcome back to the Balanced Hormone Solution Podcast. I am your host, Tracy, and this is the start of something very powerful. So whether you're new here or you've been hanging out with me for a while, if you've been dealing with mood swings, low energy, period problems, low libido, or just that feeling of not feeling like yourself, you are in the right place. And today, we're kicking off a whole new series on how to actually rebalance your hormones in a real life, sustainable way, right? Nobody needs more busy work. Nobody needs more homework. And we're going to start this series with the queen of the hormone hierarchy. This is the method that I like to use in my program, and that hormone is cortisol. So let's go ahead and just dive into this. So cortisol is that hormone boss that you have been ignoring. She sits at the very top of this hierarchy. So what does this look like in your body and in your life? If you've been focusing on your period, thyroid maybe, taking tests, your estrogen, wondering why your pants don't fit anymore, or your libido, where your desire is gone, but nothing is changing, like you're doing some lifestyle practices, you're taking some supplements, and just nothing is moving the needle, well, it might be because your stress hormones are truly running the show behind the scenes. Cortisol is your main stress hormone. And it is designed to help you survive. Listen, you could not live without it. You need it. So all these health gurus on Instagram talking about all we need to do is lower our cortisol all the time, but we don't want it so low. We want it to respond to life correctly. Okay, that's our goal, is when we have stressful moments in our day, we want to increase it. When we need to be relaxed, we also want to be able to decrease it. So what we're looking for here is flexibility, not one extreme to the other. But when it is too high for too long, I see why they're saying this, or like it's crashing from burnout, you've just been in a high cortisol state for many, many years. This is where a lot of my clients are who come to me. It will throw every other hormone off course. So does that make sense? This is what it ends up looking like in your body. It ends up looking like those mood swings, or even anxiety, PMS, like the worst kind of PMS on steroids, weight gain around your middle in particular, or like insomnia, even though you're so tired. And yeah, what about that hormone rage, right? What about the day or two, or let's be honest, week before your period, where you end up needing to apologize to your husband and kids the next day, or whenever that period starts and you get some relief. So I want to tell you about a woman that I worked with. Her name was Sarah, and she's 41. She works full time. She has 2 kids. She works out regularly. She eats quote unquote healthy, but she herself felt like her body was rebelling. And this looked like her being exhausted during the day, but wide awake at night, and gaining weight despite her really incredible attention to counting macros. But when we looked at her stress patterns and her daily habits, her nervous system was in constant go mode. So she wasn't lazy or doing anything wrong. I want you to hear me on this. She was over-functioning in a world that needed rest. Does this sound familiar? I could see myself in Sarah, and I hope you can too. If you have come to a place in your life where you are just doing all the right things and getting no results, then maybe it is for a similar reason, it's that over-functioning, when what we really need is rest, especially at this time of life. So studies have shown that dysregulated cortisol patterns, like high at night or flat in the morning are linked to increased anxiety, brain fog, low energy, poor metabolic health. Okay. So here's a fun fact: your body doesn't know the difference between emotional stress and physical stress. It doesn't know the difference. This is called perceived stress. It doesn't matter if that stress is actually there, present in front of you, or you're just imagining it. This still puts you in a place where you have increased risk of things like anxiety, brain fog, low energy, and that poor metabolic health. So if you skip lunch, let's say you're in a hurry, or let's just say you're just not hungry, right? And so you don't eat breakfast anymore, that's a bad no-no. Or what about that HIIT workout that throws you into a cortisol tailspin, or that second cup of coffee on the empty stomach? It's all logging into your brain like danger. Okay, the warning light is on. So again, I also want to stress that even if you're just thinking of something stressful, you and I both know that we can actually do that. We can control our autonomic nervous system to the point where all you have to do is think about something that you're worried about. And what happens? You get a pit in your stomach, your heart rate increases, your breathing starts to grow shallow, right? So that's a perceived stress just simply by a thought. Crazy, right? So I am all about solutions. My program is named Balanced Hormone Solution because I want answers to some of life's biggest problems. So here's some solutions about what you can start doing today to provide some immediate relief. Okay, so think of this like quick wins. So if this sounds like you, if I've kind of described you today, don't panic. Here's 3 simple ways to start shifting that cortisol curve right now. Quick wins. Okay. Number 1, I want you to think about starting your morning slow. Don't jump out of bed, grab your phone, run downstairs, grab your coffee, and get out the door, do your makeup at the next stoplight. That's not where we're going with flattening or improving this cortisol curve. I want you to get some sunlight on your skin. And listen, if this means you need to wake up a little bit earlier, give yourself a little more cushion in the morning, I promise you it's going to be worth it. So starting your morning slow would look like that sunlight. Sunlight on your skin. Get it in your naked eyeballs, not through a window, not through your car windshield, but literally on your skin and in your eyes. Drink a glass of water. Bonus points if you put a little doTERRA lemon oil in it. Just 1 to 2 drops is all you need to kickstart that digestion and promote your gut health first thing in the morning. Drink that before you have that cup of coffee. And definitely avoid jumping into the chaos first thing, whatever you need to do. So this right here, starting your morning slow, is going to help your cortisol rise naturally without spiking. So another thing that you can do for a quick win is to eat balanced meals regularly. I cannot tell you how many women, and myself included, have come out of an intermittent fasting phase where we're not even hungry first thing in the morning. And so we just used to skipping breakfast. We're not even doing it for weight loss anymore. We don't have the proper hunger cues. Well, sister, this has to do with leptin signaling, and that I will save for another podcast. But your leptin signal is probably broken, and we need to fix that. And leptin happens to be very important because it is the brain signal for our metabolism. But anyway, I digress. So balanced meals regularly. What does that look like? Protein, healthy fat, fiber. I'm looking at fiber in terms of carbohydrates, okay? When I say fiber, I'm not saying a whole wheat sandwich. I'm not saying flax bread. I'm not saying seed crackers. I'm saying fiber from fibrous carbs, which would be low glycemic vegetables. I want you to eat 3 meals a day. Make that breakfast within 1 hour of waking up, okay? And this right here will help keep your blood sugar stable. And that keeps cortisol chill. The third quick win and tip I'm going to give you is just to give your nervous system a break. Okay, so even like 2 minutes of deep breathing, grounding, stepping away from a screen can help your body shift out of a stress mode. So here's a cool thing that you do every 20 minutes. Stop for 20 seconds and look 20 feet away. Focus on something 20 feet away. This is the 20-20-20 rule. Okay, especially is it very important for you if you work at your desk. I want you to take a break every 20 minutes, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Okay. And that just gives your nervous system a little break. So I hope you can put these 3 nuggets into these quick wins into practice. There's something you can start tomorrow. You don't need to pay for them. You don't need to hire a new practitioner. You don't need to start a new diet. These are just 3 things that you can begin that are what I might consider like foundational pieces. But let me just leave you with this little mindset nugget for you. I want you to really, really internalize this. If your body feels like it's stuck in survival mode, this is the cold hard truth. It's not going to prioritize your hormones, okay, your energy or your metabolism. So let me just say it very clearly. You are not broken, okay? You are not beyond repair. You're just simply burned out. And that, my friend, is fixable. So that is the good news in all of this, is that we can turn around this cortisol issue and you can start prioritizing your sex hormones again and get your energy back, release unwanted weight, fix your metabolism, sleep through the night, all these beautiful things that I help people do in my program. So that's our first episode in this series because it all starts with cortisol. If you're exhausted, irritable, or like just not feeling like yourself, this might be your missing piece. So if you want to go deeper, if you want to learn how to actually reset the stress response from a root cause perspective, if you want to create real change in your hormone health, then this is exactly the kind of work that we do inside my program, the Balanced Hormone Solution. So you can learn more about it at my website, tracyaaronwellness.com. You can find me on Instagram or just hang out here on this podcast each week because I have so much goodness coming your way in this series. In fact, next week, we're going to be diving into cycle wisdom, what your period is trying to tell you. Because yes, your period is a language and it is speaking to you, and I want to help you translate it. So until then, drink your lemon water, go get some sunshine, and remember, you do not have to stay stuck in survival mode. Until next time. That's it for today's episode of the Balanced Hormone Solution Podcast. If this resonated, don't just listen, do something about it. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you know another woman who's tired of feeling like a stranger in her own body, send her this way. For more support, check out the show notes. I've got resources to help you get started. Just remember, your body isn't broken. You just need the right tools. See you next time.